Yep. Yeah, that is a thing you can do. Something very interesting about this game is that, like, it's unfinished. Just like the previous game, you see, there's 8 robot masters to pick from. Sparkman, Snake Man, Needle Man, Top Man, Hard Man, Gemini Man, Magnet Man, and Shadow Man. In my opinion, Mega Man 3 is, like, leagues better than the second one. I gotta be honest with you on that end, since I hadn't really talked about it. Hello, spectators, and welcome to the show. It is your host, Mosaic Arts, finally here after quite a long wait and a sort of unofficial short hiatus from the Mega Man games, back here with Mega Man 3. Mega Man. He is Mega Man, but he is also known as the... But yeah, getting to the point basically, I had kind of been taking a break from Mega Man for a while for different reasons and stuff, but we are finally here, finally covering Mega Man 3. So you'll notice immediately a little bit is different, mainly the controller down here that says start. I decided, going forward, we're going to start playing on the Nintendo Switch version of Mega Man Legacy Collection going forward, because I found, in part thanks to me, you know, playing on Nintendo Switch a little bit in the past more recently, I just do better with playing things like this instead. I mean, yes, we are still playing with a Pro controller, but we are just playing on a different system. But with all that being said, let's finally get into Mega Man 3. So starting off, once again, just like the previous game, you see, there's 8 robot masters to pick from. Sparkman, Snake Man, Needle Man, Top Man, Hard Man, Gemini Man, Magnet Man, and Shadow Man. So, kind of like last time, we are going to choose based on which one's the most optimal to go for. Starting with Needle Man. We are facing Needle Man. But yeah, as we play Needle Man stage, I have some interesting trivia of this game to talk about. The very first thing I want to open up with right out the gate is just that, like, something very interesting about this game is that, like, it's unfinished. Now, with me saying that, I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, wait a minute, Mosaic, what do you mean it's unfinished? Didn't the game release? Doesn't it have, you know, a beginning, middle, and end to it? Like, don't you actually play through the game, you know, as if we're finished? Yes, that's actually not what I meant. I don't mean it's unfinished in the sense of, like, we didn't get what was presented as a complete game. I mean in the sense of, there was a lot of features in this game that they wanted to put in this game that just ended up on the cutting room floor. That basically, oh, and I think I should talk about this now. Mega Man has a new ability in this game where he can now do this. Okay, so the funny thing there is I wanted to show you what it did, but... So basically, yeah, look, it's like this. Yeah, Mega Man can now slide on the ground and stuff. Which, oh my gosh, I'm already on 1 hit point. We need to be careful. Seriously, how did this happen? We're already on 1 hit point? Seriously. We need to pay more attention. Okay, but yeah, look, see? So because of the fact that Mega Man can now slide, he has abilities like this. Wait, what did I just... No. Mega Man can do things like this now that he can slide. So that is pretty neat. And you'll see as more entries go along later on in the series and stuff, they continue to add more and more abilities in Mega Man's arsenal, which you'll see in the games to come. But yeah, going back to the interesting trivia basically, Mega Man 3, technically, for all intents and purposes, is an unfinished game. This is basically to say, man, this porcupine or hedgehog or whatever is really getting on my nerves. This is a bad predicament to be in. It's so bad. It's very, very bad. Ah! First death of the run already. Okay, but yeah, basically, Mega Man 3 is very interesting because there are things they wanted to do with this game that they just never really got the chance to do because they were, well, on a deadline and stuff. You'll see it more to come later on, but for now, we gotta talk about something else. This is the game that first introduced Mega Man, another one of Mega Man's first red companions, Rush. Rush, the robot dog. Yes, I know that he's like a magenta color now, but in later games, they make him red. He's supposed to be red, but I'm pretty sure they made him like that shade of red because of like, I don't know, hardware limitations? Maybe? But then again, Mario is actually a different shade of red than this one they could have used, and in later Mega games released on the NES, they used the right colors, so I'm actually not sure what happened there. Oh, and yeah, as you can see, we're already at Needleman. So, regarding why I picked Needleman first, there's actually a very important reason for why that you will see really soon. And yeah, just like Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3 is sporting a whole new boss theme for its boss fights and stuff. Now, this is something that will become a regular standard in every Mega Man game going forward, if not clear. Died again. But yeah, that's not going to happen this time. But yeah, the slide is honestly a pretty good addition, I would say. Useful for things like dealing with some boss fights easier than you normally would, because it's like there's attacks that you can slide under that like you normally couldn't, or obstacles. Like for example, the Robot Masters, like a lot of the other ones, jump around a lot and stuff. And before, you would have to just run past them and hope they don't hit you, but now you have the option of sliding under them too, with them adding the sliding to this game. So, as you can see, as a lot of third entries tend to, I found over time, this game has made quite a number of innovations. Now, you're probably asking, who's the red guy on this border on the right of Mega Man? We will learn more about who he is later on in this game, as it goes along. And... No way! No! Why did that? No! Just did that! I had to just shoot him one more time, and he would have been done. Wow, Needleman.
Wow, Needleman, you sure don't know how to just die, now do you?
Seriously! I guess that's one thing that the Archie Mega Man comics was very inaccurate about. Because for those of you who haven't read the Archie Mega Man comics, they're actually pretty crazy. Like, they're actually shockingly well written, but they're a really niche comic that not many people have read, because to be fair, it's based off of an already niche series. So it doesn't surprise that many people haven't read it, but I just don't know, there was a moment in that comic where it's like, Mega Man's about to finish off Needleman, Needleman literally just telling him, go ahead, take the shot, and Mega Man takes the shot. Archie Mega Man, inaccurate, super inaccurate. What the heck am I going to do? Huh? How did I? Huh? Huh? What the heck is going on? No way! He has me caught in a death loop. Yeah, I did not want to bust that thing out so early, but we are busting it out early. Okay, and now he's dead. How many times did I have to rewind that time? Like what, 12? 15? 20? None of those numbers will surprise me. But yeah, anyway, there's a very important reason I went for Needleman first. You are going to see it right now. And on top of this, we have a new weapon guest screen. You got Needle Cannon and Rush Jet. That's the important thing. So you know how I said Mega Man has this robot dog companion named Rush now? Well, one of the super important things that he gets now, that Rush now has the ability to do, well, you'll see it. Next, we're gonna go for Mega Man. But yeah, so basically, this is what the Rush Jet does. Look at this. So you have Rush right here, who has Rush Jet, but you also now have Rush Jet, which does this. We can fly. We believe we can fly. We believe we can touch the sky. And we are not finishing that song for a multitude of reasons. But yeah, that's basically why we went for Needleman first. Okay, so yeah, look at this. this right here, this guy right here, how about we keep his name a secret for now? You actually get told at the end of the game what his name is, if I haven't already said it earlier, but why don't we just keep his name a secret for now? The only thing you gotta know about him right now is he has some kind of significant connection to Mega Man. We are not gonna spoil what that would be right now. But you gotta fight him sometimes, and when you beat him, he just flees. He runs away, like a coward. That is what he does. Because the art of running up. Did I seriously just say his name out loud? So much for keeping a secret, right? I mean, yeah. I'll probably just censor what I said his name was in editing. But yeah, the reason we went for Magnet Man second is that for one thing, the weapon of what you get from him, basically, is pretty handy, to be honest, to just have throughout the game. But along with this, Magnet Man also is not the hardest Robot Master to beat with just the Mega Buster. Because yes, spoiler alert, the Needle Cannon is not Magnet Man's weakness. I'm not exactly going in weakness order this time around, or I sorta am, but that's actually another unique thing that's very interesting about Mega Man 3. This is the very first, and I think one of the only Mega Man games to date, where there isn't a clear circular... See, this is one of those moments that the Rush Jet is really useful for. We don't have to do the dumb block puzzles. Ha ha ha! Yeah, block puzzles, that's what you get for sucking. You get avoided. Ha 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 ha. Right. Now, the Needle Cannon, regarding the way it actually works, it's effectively just a stronger Mega Buster, if I have to be real with you. The Needle Cannon is only really super useful on in a few instances in this game, and that I suppose you can view as one of them. But yeah, that's what I was saying, that basically there's this, I don't know if this is a glitch or an intended feature, but there's this way that basically Rush Jet works, where basically if you jump up and down while you're using it, you just use ammo slower, because it only picks up ammo if you're standing on it. Again, no idea if that's an intended feature or a glitch, but either way, I take advantage of it. Anyway, time to fight Magnet Man. Hopefully you're not going to be as much of a challenge as Needle Man. See that thing that oh my gosh, he did that much damage just running into it? I did not know he does so much. Guess that's good to know? Surprised he hasn't used a certain attack of his yet. Okay, there it is. Yeah, he has this ability he can also do where he can try to pull you towards him because, Magnet Man. So, of course. Yes, we beat him and it only took us 9 rewinds. Is every boss in Mega Man 3 just gonna be like this? Come on, Mega Man 3, why are you treating me like this time? What did I do to deserve this? Anyway, we got the Magnet Missile. Almost kind of like this game expects you to go in this order, because it's funny how all these weapons have been in order. But yeah, we have the Magnet Missile now. The reason I wanted to defeat Magnet Man so early as well, his weapon is pretty handy to have, to be honest, because of how it works. I think you can have a guess of how it works based on what you've seen so far, but yeah, Top Man time. Wait a minute, did I just pick Top Man? No, not Top Man, not Top Man, hold on, whoops, what did I just do? No, I didn't mean to pick Top Man, hold on. I meant to pick Hard Man, how did I do that? How did that happen? Okay, I think I know what happened. For some reason, I just thought Hard Man was to the right, and it didn't register until the level was about to start, but it's like, no, we're not fighting Top Man yet. We're fighting Hard Man first. Yeah, shoot. I'm making all sorts of mistakes this time, aren't I? But yeah, the reason we're going for Hard Man now, basically is, well, this dude's weakness is the Magnet Missile. So, for a little bit, we're going to be going weakness order now. I have an idea. Hard Knuckle. Or Hammer Knuckle, that's what these guys are called. Or, no, Hammer Joes, that's what these guys are called. Go ahead. Hit me with your best shot. Take me out. I know what I'm doing, by the way, spectators. And this game over theme is pretty sad. Aren't I correct? Yeah, the reason I did that basically is just I wanted to get all my lives back before I got too far into the level and stuff, so I don't have to do more, you know, of those 90 billion resets I did against both Magnet Man and Needle Man and stuff. That was harder than steel. Once again, I am referencing the Megas when I say that like that, because they also made songs based off of like the Mega Man 3 stages, and they are pretty good, and I was just seeing one of the lines from one of them. Oh, and we have these monkeys here monkeying around with that monkey business. They'll jump around and stuff if you, like, get too close to them. Just actually kind of kicking my butt. These monkeys actually kicking my butt. And also, on top of this, I don't think the Magnet Missile homes in on them. They almost took me out. But see, this is what the Magnet Missile is very good for. Okay, maybe this enemy is actually a bad example, to be honest, because it's like, usually... Okay, yeah, that enemy's a bad example. This is the weapon you want to use on this enemy, I would say. Yeah. But yeah, more so, it's like, it's good on enemies like this one. See? Just Magnet Missile them, and there's no problem. But, dude. Okay, hopefully I have enough ammo left by the time I get to Hard Man, because otherwise, we are going to have a problem. Man, there are so many deadly enemies in this level that I am pretty rusty at dealing with, because I usually deal with them pretty well when I play, but not this time. Now we gotta kinda, you know, fight again. Okay, I seriously just said his name again. I guess I'll censor that. Oh, you know I'm having a skill issue right now if I'm dying to... You know how I'm having a skill issue right now if I'm dying to this guy, specifically. Fine, I'll try you again. Mystery Man who will not be at. Whistling, yes, that's what he's doing. And run away, mofo. Uh-oh. So unless this guy drops a big ammo pickup, we are going to have to beat Hard Man without his weakness. Nice. Oh man, yeah. And look, so he shoots these knuckles at you that home in on you, kind of. And when he falls like that, he freezes you in place, so be prepared to dodge. Yeah, it sucks not having the weakness. Like, I only have 2 hits of his weakness left, and, yeah, no way to replenish it. So, yeah, probably shouldn't have shot me with Magnet Missile earlier. So our strategy is going to be, get this dude's health low enough to where the 2 shots I have left can take him out. But otherwise, I don't know how we're going to win this. I do not like how neck-to-neck this fight is right now. Okay, now, let's just take this dude out. Oh! It was just 1! Okay! Woo! Woo! Yeah, it was just 1. It was just 1. Great. I wasn't sure how much damage that Magnet Missile was going to do, but it just took him out right away. Good. So that's the 3rd one done. He got the Hard Knuckle. So, here's what's good about the Hard Knuckle. For one thing, the Hard Knuckle is also a fairly handy weapon, but on top of this... it's Top Man's weakness. The Robot Master we're now actually going for. Unlike earlier where we made that kind of goofy mistake where we weren't supposed to go for him and we did anyway. By the way, yeah, Top Man's theme is a bop. Give it a listen. Yeah, told you so. See how few hits that took? Yeah, the Hard Knuckle is pretty handy. hits enemies like really hard when you hit them with it and stuff. And so you can take out most enemies in a cinch with it, hence why it's also a good weapon to have early on. Other playthroughs, I honestly would have gone for Magnet Man first, but then I realized, oh, I can get rushed at right away if I take out Needle Man. So, why don't we do that? Also, let's actually save a good bit of these hard knuckle shots this time, so we have enough for Top Man when we fight him, and don't run into the same issue all over again. Yes, that would be bad. That would be no good. That is what we are doing in here, spectators. Oh my gosh, what the heck did Mega Man just do? He glitched! Wow, that was close. That was a close one. Anyway, Top Man time. Another positive having this slide, you can traverse these boss hallways a lot quicker. Anyway, Top Man throws his tops at you, and he spins around while doing it. Yeah, who would have thought? Top Man spins around like a top? Oh gee, I wonder why his name is Top Man. And he's a complete pushover if you have his weakness too, which is another big plus. And with that, we got the Top Spin, aka the worst weapon in all of Mega Man's history. I am not kidding with you. That is how bad the Top Spin is. Hello spectators, and welcome to the show. It is your host, Mosaic Arts, here with part 2 of Mega Man 3. So last time, we defeated Top Man, and also Hard Man, Magnet Man, and Needle Man. We defeated half of them. So in this part, we will be taking down the other half. Let's do that, starting now, with Shadow Man. Up in here with the red waterfalls in the background. Why does that make such ninjas? Maybe the ninja, you know, like theme they were trying to go for. Meanwhile, we're having a third battle with Mystery Man right here. Yeah, get right, Mystery Man, who we are not delving in. To the name of just yet. Let's punch that light out. Yeah, one punch. Yeah, because that is what we did. We punched out that light and one punch. Not that one though. We missed it. 2 punches. It doesn't roll the tongue the same way as one punch. Now that's it. Funny enough, I never actually watched One Punch Man. Do you guys recommend that show, One Punch Man? If you've seen it yourself, of course. If you haven't seen it, don't tell me how you feel about it, because you wouldn't know either. Just a personal little question I gotta ask on that. Because I'm just a little bit curious, because I've always heard of the show, I just never really watched it. That's all. You saw nothing. Ow. They are. You didn't get me. Okay, so fun fact about Shadow Man. He is weak to the Top Spin. So another thing you want to know that's funny about the Top Spin, if you want to use it to damage the boss, you have to take damage yourself. Oh, and by the way, he can slide too. So, with all those combined reasons, how about we just get ourselves taken out, and now we bust out the Top Spin. That just seems like the smart idea here. So now, let's Top Spin Shadow Man into the ring. And that was pretty easy. But yeah, seriously, other than using it to defeat Shadow Man, the Top Spin is... Oh, and one other boss that I will not spoil right now because it's going to blow your mind what boss that is. There is literally no use for the Top Spin. It might as well not exist other than those 2 uses. There's only one other time in this game we're ever going to use it, and again, it is just going to blow your mind where that other use is. I am not going to say right now, but there is one other place you use it that is just like, huh? Anyway, though, we are going to go for Snake Man next. For more than one reason. Tasty. For one thing, we actually have Snake Man's weakness on us. I'm not going to say what that is yet, But we do. Plus, Snake Man's weapon is a pretty neat pickup to get. So, that is why Snake Man's gonna be our next target now. Fun fact about Snake Man you didn't know. He's actually the very first Robot Master that was themed after an animal, if you didn't know. Because, like, think about it. It's like, when it comes to all the previous games, let's see, you had Cut Man, Guts Man, Ice Man, Fire Man, Bomb Man, and Cut Man. Unless I already said Cut Man, I don't know if I already did say Cut Man. Okay, you know what, Big Snake? I'm gonna punch you in the jaw! Bam! Alright. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, though, yeah, because you have all the ones from Mega Man 1 that were themes like that, and then in Mega Man 2, let's see, you have Air Man, you have Bubble Man, you have Heat Man, you have Quick Man, you have Flash Man, you have Crash Man, and then, of course, you have Metal Man, Wood Man. And then in this game, you have all the other Robot Masters that you fight too. None of them are themed after animals. Meaning, Snake Man was the very first Robot Master to be themed after an animal. And he certainly isn't the last one, as you will see in later entries of the series. But yeah, that's just one very interesting bit of trivia that you may not have noticed about Snake Man until now. But yeah, that is in fact the case, and it's pretty, like, cool. And you have mystery capsules. What do you think we're going to get, chat? Comment your thoughts below on what we're going to get, and then leave your guesses in after. Oh. What do you think we're going to get, chat? Leave your thoughts below now. Anyway. Nice. All we got. And find another Snake mini boss. This should be hard. Boom! Wrecked. Yeah, see, this is what I mean by this is why we got the hard knuckle really early on. It's a really handy weapon to have. You see what I did there? No pun intended, but you see what I did there? But anyway, you're jumping around at the speed of Playhide's favorite animal. I mean, it is, right, Playhide? I see, that's your answer. Look at me with a straight face and tell me that, like, that enemy doesn't look suspiciously like a certain Mario enemy. I think you guys know exactly which one I'm thinking of, but seriously, tell me that does not look suspiciously like a certain Mario enemy. Like, come on, it's like, you see it, right? I don't have to tell you, correct? I don't think I do. Anyway, we are fighting Snake Man. By the way, yes, his weakness is the Needle Cannon, if you're curious. So let's just unload it on him. Yeah, that was pretty easy. As I have said before regarding Mega Man 2, Robot Masters become absolute cakewalks if you have their weakness on you. Like, literally. Either they are super hard or they are super easy. That is literally how they all always work every single time. Anyway, we got the Search Snake, which is a pretty nifty, handy weapon to have. I would still say the Magnet Missile and the Hard Knuckle are more useful, but it's pretty neat too. So next, I think, on the agenda is going to be Sparkman, our 7th Robot Master this time around. Something kind of funny about Sparkman is that it's like, for some reason, I was the kind who would always fight Sparkman first, playing this game growing up and stuff. But honestly, over time, I just kind of learned that Sparkman, for reasons you'll see in a bit, is not the most optimal one to fight first. Also, I need to do something quick. All done. Oh yeah, this part is pretty deadly. You gotta be really careful, or you'll instantly die if you mess that up. So, don't mess it up. By the way, I wonder if anybody knows what Sparkman's weakness is. We will see if you can guess right now, because like I talked about, Mega Man 3 just has a more unusual weakness order, where it actually kind of forces you to beat, like, 2 of the Robot Masters with just the Mega Buster round in just one, which really mixes up the order you fight the bosses in. Because, fun fact, we already have Gemini Man, the remaining Robot Master's weakness also. But, because of the fact that, like, this has a system it does, we just didn't fight him. By the way, yes, Sparkman's weakness is the Shadow Blade. And I think the reason for that is that, you know, sparks create light, Shadow Man's in the shadows, on top of the Shadow Blades, like, because they're sharp, they can cut wires. You know, sparks, electricity, wires, it all makes sense. Basically, electric. And that was pretty easy. Didn't even break a sweat. Other than getting really low on health, which was a little bit uncomfortable. But yep, 7 out of 8 of them are done. Yeah. You got Spark Shock. You got a fairly useless weapon. Better than the top spin, still pretty useless. Not the greatest. Anyway, we are on to the final Wallet Master, Gemini Man. So let's take him out. Hey guys, I think Gemini Man is going to be the hardest. You know why? Because his name is Gemini. He's literally named after Google's AI model, guys. Oh no, this is going to be such a tough fight. I can't believe this is going to be so difficult. That is why he's in space, guys. Because he transcends all forms of technology that exists on our own planet right now. He is more advanced than any other Wallet Master there possibly is out there. He knew the future, guys. That's why his name is Gemini. How will Mega Man ever win this? Especially given how he's blue like him. That especially shows that he just won't be able to beat him. What'd I just say? No idea. We are at the speed of crystals, and now suddenly Mystery Man shows up again, but he doesn't want to fight us? And instead he decides to help us? That's pretty random, to be honest. So Mystery Man shows, for that reason, that he's kind of a morally ambiguous character, kind of like Meta Knight from Kirby's Adventure. Go watch Kirby's Adventure, by the way. Because if people show enough for support for that part of the series I put up, I'll probably go back to it and finish it. I'm very willing to do it. It's just, you guys need to show me you want to see it continue. If you don't, easy. Just don't go click on it. But if you do, go click on it. Hello there. And we now fight a giant penguin. And beat the giant penguin. Not much else to note on. Other than the fact that this is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. See, like I said, Hard Knuckle Hicksbot. That is why I grabbed this weapon so early on. It is really good to have once you have it. And now we have the water segment of this game. Probably one of the only parts in which Rush Marine will ever be useful. Now, I think these goodies are worth going for, but yeah. And we got 2. Nice. So something odd I've heard some people say is that they, think Mega Man 3 is, worse than Mega Man 2, and I just don't see it, personally, in my case, if I haven't really brought that up, because, in my opinion, Mega Man 3 is, leagues better than the second one. I gotta be honest with you on that end, since I hadn't really talked about that. That's my opinion on it, because, more polished presentation, more fun weapon selection, more balanced weapon selection. Anyway, let's battle Gemini Man. This is really getting out of hand. There are 2 of them. So, basically, the strategy you want to use with this guy is, first off, you don't really need to use the weakness. Just do this for a while. And after a certain point, something interesting will happen. One of them seemed to have disappeared. Now I wonder what's with that. Nothing happened. You saw nothing. You didn't see anything. Ha! I didn't even need to use my E-Tank. Take that, Gemini Man! But yeah, you use the weakness on the second half, on the first half, just Mega Buster them, and you're good. But yeah, you saw that right. Gemini Man's weakness was the Search Snake. So when I went to go face Spark Man, I already had both of their weaknesses. It really just came down to which World Masters I want to fight when. But you will find something interesting. So you're like, now you go to Wily, right? Wrong. This is Mega Man 3. We have 4 stages to revisit. Here's what I think. We will talk more about that topic about Mega Man 3 and why I heard over 2 next episode. Because these robots here, which I'll also tell you the name of the next episode, I have some interesting things to talk about with them, and there are some interesting things to see with them for sure. Hello, spectators, and welcome to the show. It is your host, Mosaic Arts, here with part 3 of Mega Man 3. So, last time, we defeated Gemini Man, Spark Man, Snake Man, and Top Man. Shadow Man, I meant to say. And this time around, we are fighting these robots. So, who are these robots, you ask? And why are they on all these previous stages we've been to before? Well,
why don't we find out?
Starting with Sparkman, all we see is a question. What could this be about? Who knows? I guess we'll see. Now, this is what we are having to do for some mysterious reason. We are having to revisit what seems like a rehashed, adjusted version of Sparkman's level. Fight these mysterious robots that have inhabited them. Now, why would that be? That's pretty weird, if I do say so myself. I wonder why we're having to revisit these levels like this. What could it be that is here? What will it be that we will find? I suppose we will see in time. And you find something weird here. Us already? But we just started the level. What is going on here? But you don't know what to expect. So you go behind the door, and you find Metal Man from Mega Man 2? From the last game? We're fighting again and he's inhabiting this robot? I think this is a pretty good time to tell you what these guys are called. These guys are the Doc Robots. Named, I'm pretty sure... Oh, and he's already dead. Okay, but yeah. That was a Doc Robot copying the powers of Metal Man. Yes, Metal Man from Mega Man 2. The last game that we just played. Pretty crazy stuff, if you ask me. But yeah, so that's basically what is going on with these levels, is that we, throughout these next 4 levels, are going to refight all the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters, but now, you know, as the Doc Robots, with new layouts of sorts that you have to beat them in, and on top of this, with each of them, you have to find new weakness sets. That is more or less what you are doing on these 4 levels. Now, this is a segment of the game that I know from what I've heard, a lot of people don't like, and they cite reasons like you having to find a new weakness set, or like having to revisit stages you've already been in and finding that boring and stuff, or like just different reasons like that, or why they just personally don't really like the Doc Robot stages. But personally, I like them. I think it's pretty cool to honestly revisit stages you've done before in new, reimagined, rehashed ways, and refight bosses from your past, but now in a new set of weapons and new kind of stuff. And now, have you heard of Quickman? Well, he is back for revenge time for the 2nd time. Now, isn't that great how it's time for that? And he took me out. Fine. But yeah, funny enough, Doc Quick, as I'm going to call him, has 2 weaknesses, both of which I'm a little bit confused about. So for one thing, he's weak to the Search Snake, as we saw before, but he's also weak to the Gemini Laser. Now, actually, now that I think about it, Gemini Laser actually kind of makes sense. Think about it, Quickman moves really quick, what also moves really quick? Light. Kaboom! And a laser is made out of light. Now, the Search Snake, I don't get. The best guess I can assert is, like, I guess some snakes can be quick, like Quickman, so they could keep up with him and catch him. I guess that's their logic for why he's weak to them, but I don't know. That was Doc Metal and Doc Quick. Now, the idea is you'll realize, so wait a minute, last game had 8 Robot Masters, but there seems to be only 3 more Doc Robot stages left. So, does that mean things are going to work like... Yes, it does mean things are going to work exactly like Sparkman stage. Each of these stages, we will fight 2 of them. So next up, let's go for the Shadow Man revisit. I wonder which 2 we will fight here. Because that's basically the idea of what we're going to be doing these next few stages, is that we're going to be refighting the Mega Man 2 Robot Masters as Dr. Robots. We have to find their new weaknesses now and stuff. But thankfully, because I've replayed this game many times, I'm pretty familiar with their weaknesses, so yeah. Now, regarding why people don't like the Dr. Robot stages, I think I might have mentioned this already, but one reason is people don't like kind of finding a new weakness set. Some people also don't like revisiting stages you've been to before, and on that end, I gotta be fair. There probably are some things at which they probably could have done just a little bit like honestly, a little bit, like, more, like, work with, if I have to be honest with you. Like, for example, maybe the stages should have been remixed, and some of the visuals should have been a little bit more up-touched. You saw nothing. Than they honestly are when you're revisiting them like this. Because as it currently stands, it's almost like you're going through the same stage again with basically the same music, which... Yeah, if I gotta be honest with you, I can see how that can be boring to some people. And another thing too is this. If you die on the first Doc Robot, I have no idea why they make it work like this, but if you die on the first Doc Robot of the 2 that you face on each stage, you are sent to the beginning of the level. Not right before the boss, the beginning of the level. So what that literally means is if you lose this first Doc Robot, which is mimicking Woodman in this case, you literally have to redo that. You literally have to redo that. Stop. You literally have to redo that first stage all over again. Which, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Was it hardware limitations or something? Then I almost gotta wonder if they should have done this segment the way they did to begin with. Like, I gotta be honest with you. Even though I like the idea of the Doc Robots, I'm actually decently fine with these stages. I gotta be honest with you. I agree that there was a much better way to do this. I will elaborate more on this at the end of this game, probably, or like towards the end of it. But I do think there was a better solution to this with what you are going to see in the upcoming, you know, Dr. Wily stages. Because yeah, spoiler alert, Dr. Wily, is evil now. Now, I know what you're probably about to ask me. You're probably about to ask me, Mosaic, have you lost it? Have you gone mad? Wasn't Dr. Wily bad in the first 2 games too? What changed in this one? Well, that's where the fact that this game was kind of rushed comes in again. So, you're just not going to know this by just playing the game by default. But in the manual, something you find out is that basically Dr. Light, Dr. Light's been good. No, Dr. Wily basically claimed after his defeat in Mega Man 2 that he's done being evil, he's gonna be good now. Dr. Light and Dr. Wily started working together on this robot named Gamma, basically. No, not that Gamma, a different Gamma. By the way, we're fighting the next Doc Robot. I will talk about this while we're fighting it. Basically, they were working together on this super robot named Gamma, basically, but they needed to extract these different energy crystals to power him or whatever and stuff that are on these 8 different planets. And so, because of the fact that they couldn't go, they designed 8 robots to go to these planets. Let's not get killed by Doc Pete. They designed... Man, that was a bad arch. How do you even avoid that? I don't know how you avoid that. Okay, see, I don't know if that's avoidable, actually. But basically, long story short, they sent 8 robots to 8 different planets. Those, of course, being the 8 robot masters that you fight in this game and stuff. They went haywire, and Mega Man has to go there to stop them, basically. But yeah, since the cat's out of the bag now, if you hadn't already figured it out, yeah, Dr. Wily, isn't really good now. Yeah. So in this scrapped story that this game was supposed to have, yeah, they basically established that. By the way, we are going to go for revisiting Gemini Man stage next. But yeah, that is more or less what the whole scrap story was all about. That never made it into the final Mega Man 3 game. And so as a result, it's like, if you were wondering, like, why are we fighting these 8 Robot Masters this time around since no story is really given like Mega Man 2? That actually is in fact the story, is that these robots that were designed collectively by Dr. Light and Dr. Wily supposedly went haywire and stuff, basically. And Mega Man has to go to the 8th planet to stop them. Which I guess means apparently that yes, these places you go to are in fact 8 different planets, which is pretty crazy to be honest. I gotta be honest, with the fact that the story didn't make it into the game, I don't know how many people are actually surprised by that. But yeah, honestly, here's what I'll say. If they did in fact make that the story in like the final game, I probably wouldn't have spoiled that, but because of the fact that like that was the original script, but it just never made it to the final game, yeah, I just mentioned it. But yeah, anyway, Doc Flash. You beat Doc Flash with the needle cannon. Wrecked. Anyway, we keep going. And this is how the Rush Marine runs. I haven't really shown you guys at all because, like, honestly, the Rush Marine doesn't become useful that many times during this game, if I have to be honest with you, but this is how it works. It's effectively a worse Rush Jet. Because let's see, can't you use Rush Jet underwater too? Oh yeah, straight up, like I said, it's basically a worse Rush Jet. The best thing it really does is that it saves the Rush Jet's ammo. And I guess, to be fair, with the Rush Marine, you can't get knocked off of it like the Rush Jet, but that's about it. Not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, no it sucks. Anyway, without much to say, we are on to the boss of this level. Take a wild guess which Doc Robot we're fighting now. I bet $50 most of you guys can guess which Doc Robot we're fighting now. You just went under the water, don't overthink it, it's pretty easy to figure out. Yeah, Doc Bubble, and that's the one we're fighting now. So, yeah. Oh yeah, just like how Bubble Man said he would take out Mega Man, Doc Bubble, you also are not taking out Mega Man. Different costume, same story. So now that leaves us with the final Doc Robot stage. Needle Man Revisited. Hey, it's kind of funny how this Let's Play is actually started with Needle Man's level, and now these last few stages here before the Wily stages, spoiler alert, we also are now once again revisiting Needle Man's stage for the last time. What the heck? What the heck was that sound the Shadow Blade was making just now? Dang. Calm down, Shadow Blade.
Not that serious.
If you haven't noticed, this game gives you a lot of free goodies like this. I don't know why it gives you so many, but it just does, to be honest. Anyway, with us having defeated most of the different Doc Robots at this point, I think by process of elimination, you can probably figure out that these last 2 Doc Robots can only be one of 2 different ones. Yeah, now we are fighting Doc Air, our 7th one. And if you've been paying attention to the Doc Robots you've been fighting, the process of elimination, you know exactly what is it now? Which Doc Robot we're fighting after this one. That's one thing that's really cool about this, is that now that you have the ability to slide in Mega Man 3, it's actually easier to dodge these tornadoes a little bit than when you were fighting Airman in the last game. But yeah, bam, did it in style. Nice. Oh, now this part is not the greatest. Make sure your Rush Jet ammo is as high as you can, and make sure you don't die on this part, or you are not going to like what happens. Like, you really are not going to like what happens if you don't. Now, this mini-boss is pretty easy. Yeah, see? Needle Cannon, done. Oh man, it looks like the meats have gotten some upgrades since I last seen them. Yeah, so there's a button I haven't been using all this time that I'm going to use now. yeah, it's a rapid fire fight. Unless you defeat these guys a lot easier than you might. But anyway, if you can't figure out which Doc Robot this is, you have clearly not been paying attention this whole time. Yeah, it's Doc Crash. By process of elimination, it hadn't been. But yeah. Anyway, we are finally on to the last Doc Robot. This weakness is a little bit hard to aim, of course, but yeah. You didn't see it.
3, 2, 3!
Bam! First try! First try! Absolutely no cheating whatsoever! Yeah! Now, with all of them defeated, we have to beat... What? That's crazy! So, we have to defeat Breakman. I guess that was his name. Pretty interesting. So this guy's name is Breakman, huh? I didn't realize. So it's like, I don't know what this guy's deal is. It's like he's just doing the exact same thing he's been doing this entire time, and his name is Breakman, apparently. Huh. Pretty random. Oh no! Right after we received the last element. What? Wiley? Ran off with Gamma! No way, IBN instead of IBM, that's funny. But, yeah, so, Dr. Wily's a bad guy again. With no story context, this just isn't going to be a surprise to you at all, because it's like, wasn't Dr. Wily bad in the last 2 games? But I guess with a little bit of story context, maybe it would have been a little bit more surprising. Or not, because he would deal with the last 2 games too and stuff. But, yeah. Next time, we are going to finish Mega Man 3 with all the Wily stages. Hello, spectators, and welcome to the show. It is your host, Mosaic Arts, here with the finale of Mega Man 3. So last time, we cleared out all the Doc Robot stages, and now we're on to the finally Wily stage, in which you'll notice some interesting things real quick. They open this stage up with immediately giving you a 1-up. What is with that? That's a pretty big handout for you to just get like this, to be honest. And then you go forward for a while and they're already giving you an E-tank? How about we just pass up on it this time? Just to kind of show you, like, you genuinely almost, with how many handouts this game is going to give you, you almost don't even need that. Like, I am not even kidding. I know I'm taking a lot of hits, but trust me, with the amount of handouts this game's going to give you, you don't. Because look at this. Another 1-up? And by the way, yes, you break those with the hard knuckle. But yeah, I didn't get to talk about this in much depth earlier. But yeah, I will say now, because look at this. See what I'm saying? They give you another E-tank here. You see what I kind of mean by, like, trust me, you don't need that E-tank they give you in the front. They give you another one right here. It's just kind of crazy. Like, really? Like, why so many free handouts, game? Like, that's so odd. But,
Thanks, I guess?
Gamma stand for you are now unchained. You are now unchained. By the way, yeah, Mega's also made a song about this song. You know, based off of this song and stuff. Which, yeah, is pretty interesting. Man, more health pellets, yeah. Now, that's one thing you'll just notice pretty quickly about, if this hasn't made it pretty clear so far, is that the Wily stages in Mega Man 3 are weirdly easy. Like, almost to an extent, if I have to be honest with you. And as to why that is? I don't know what it could be. Anyway, we're fighting this boss in here. But yeah, you know how I said I would follow up on my whole Doc Robot thing? Basically, already done. Yeah, I will follow up on the Doc Robot thing in a second. But for now, we are beating these enemies here. So now, once again, you see in this stage, wow, we're getting a lot of handouts. Why is that? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. And see, the thing about this is that, like, because of the fact that this game gives you so many, like, handouts and stuff, it's like, you literally can feel comfortable with just saying, I don't really need some of these. Like, for example, I just grabbed another E-Tank. See that one down there? I'm not really planning to grab it, because, honestly, I don't really need it. See, like, even if this enemy kills me, I have, like, so many lives, where it's just, like, I kinda don't even really need it, if I have to be honest. And look at this, we're already at the boss, and who's the boss? This room looks familiar, right? Well, yeah, it should, because it's the Yellow Devil making his grand return in this game. See, now, the fact that this game reused a... You didn't see that. The fact that this game reused a boss from a past entry, honestly, is pretty interesting. It almost makes you wonder why exactly they did it, to be honest. Because it almost just kind of seems like, haven't we fought this boss before? Why did they reuse a boss from the prior game? Honestly, I would argue that this is just further proof that this game was kind of rushed, because it's like, why would they just be reusing bosses like this? You know, as they've already kind of done with the Doc Robots prior, if, like, you know, this game had everything in it that they wanted to put in. Also, he has new attacks that hurt you really bad, they hit you. Like that one. But, yeah. Given how it's like, we have so many E-Tanks, and then also can slide, and we have so many extra lives that the game gave us on top of that, it almost doesn't even matter that you don't have a pause glitch this time around, because this fight is still pretty easy, to be honest. Just ignore those little mistakes I made and stuff. In fact, I think we're fine using another one. You will see why pretty soon. Anyway, easy! Yeah. But see, interesting, right? That's the second time this game has reused a boss or a set of bosses from prior games. Also, the locations that the locations are on the Wily map look pretty off, right? Like, they don't actually look like that's you traversing parts of the castle, do they? Like, something just looks kind of off about them, correct? Yeah, there's certainly a reason for that, too. More ammo pickups that, honestly, I just don't really feel like we need. So, for that reason, we are going to elect to skip over them. It should really tell you something that I have skipped 2 of the E-Tanks this game has handed out to us, and I'm still doing relatively fine. Other than some minor hiccups here and there. By the way, I have something funny to kind of show you guys here. Look at this. Ha 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 ha! Yep. Yeah, that is a thing you can do. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that. But you can. But anyway, we are on to the boss again. Now here's the thing you kind of find interesting about this boss. You see these teleporters and... the Mega Clones? Again? Because think about it, it's like another boss from Mega Man 1 that for some reason has been reused? What is with that? Like, what an odd choice. And see, this is the part of the game where I almost am just like, it is really weird when you think about it how many bosses in this game are reused from previous ideas when you think about it. It almost is like this game was rushed or something like that. Oh, by the way, there's a really funny thing coming up on the upcoming boss rematch. Like I said in my Mega Man 2 Let's Play, yes, rematching all the Robot Masters is a tradition every single game going forward. So yeah, get used to it. Oh, okay, what? How did it still get thrown like that, even despite the fact that, like, it was, you know, I took the robot out already. How did it still get thrown like that? The robot was destroyed. How did the thing still get thrown if there was no robot there to throw it? Like, what? Capcom, you breaking my immersion. Why you doing that? But yeah, that is basically where my idea comes in. The Doc Robots should have been a Wily stage boss. Wouldn't that have been so much more crazy and impactful if you're just going through the Wily season, one of these stages, you suddenly have to fight 8 robots back to back? Like, they could, adjust their health, adjust their move pools, etc., and stuff, adjust how they do it, You know, not to make it, you know, unreasonably taxing and stuff like that. You know, as something to do and stuff like that. But, like, what they could have done is make it where the dock robots, like, are a Wily stage boss instead of something you fight in addition to everything else. Okay, so here's the interesting fact about the Robot Master Rematch this time around. You see Needle Man here. I'm going to shoot him with a Needle Cannon. You notice something about the damage I'm doing to Needle Man, right? And now he's also doing the knee, but we'll talk about that. Isn't it just a little bit strange how much damage those Needle Cannons are doing to him? It's like, I mean, that's Needle Man's weapon, right? Why would it be doing that much damage? Like, that's weird. That makes no sense. Why would that be happening? Huh. And Magnet Missiles do a weirdly large amount of damage to Magnet Man too, don't they? Why did he get taken out so quick?
What a strange conundrum.
And what's this? What's this? I'm fighting Gemini Man. I'm shooting him with a Gemini laser. Huh, I don't know. Am I the only one who thinks these Robot Masters are going down weirdly quick, despite the weapons I'm using against them? I don't know, this is so weird. Like, what's going to happen if I use a Hard Knuckle against Hard Man? Huh. Why is he dying so quick? That is so weird. Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm using his weapon against him. Why is he getting taken out so easily like that? Like, that is so weird. Like, what do I do against Top Man now? Do I, like, what? Top spin him? What the heck? What the heck is going on here? Why is this top spin doing so much? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, and what's this? I'm already out of the top spin. That just makes no sense. I shouldn't be out of top spin. Good thing I have this last shot left, right? Huh, what a weird conundrum. Why the heck did the top spin take him out so quick? That is weird. Now, we're just gonna mosey on over to Shadow Man here, and, I don't know, we should use the top spin, but we're out of top spin. Once my hand slipped, I'm on the Shadow Blade now. Huh. Pretty crazy how much damage that Shadow Blade is doing to him. Like, it doesn't make sense. Isn't he a ninja? Shouldn't he be trained against that? Like, that's so weird. Why did the Shadow Blade do so much damage? I just don't know why. Oh, Sparkman? Yeah. Somebody told me his weakness is like the Shadow Blade, but I don't know. I feel like trying the Spark Shot this time. Huh, what do you know? That's so weird. How he's dying so quick with a Spark Shot. Why is that the case? So that leaves us with just one Robot Master left to beat, Snake Man. Like, I wonder what would happen if we tried the Search Snake on him. I mean, you're not really going to tell me Snake Man is weak to the Search Snake, right? Though, that wouldn't be the most inaccurate thing. I mean, there are wild snakes that eat other snakes, and we don't know how big of a snake Snake Man is. He's not a very big one from what we can tell based on the thing he's wearing on his head, but apparently he's weak to that too? It's so weird how all those guys were just weak to the weapons. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, yeah, I'll drop the act now. Not all of them are dead. So, for some reason, in Mega Man 3, all of the Robot Masters are weak to their own weapons, which is so funny. I have no idea why they did that. I guess they just took notes from the whole Metal Man thing from the last game. Okay, so we gotta get serious for a second. Which weapons is this boss weak to? Which isn't hard, by the way. We just need to make sure we actually have the ammo to do what we're trying to do and stuff. But yeah, like, that is just the thing. That's so funny about that. That's like, why are all of them actually weak to this stuff? They probably just took notes from Metal Man and Mega Man 3. I mean 2, excuse me. And just kind of realized, why don't we do that, but again? Is what they realized, because they figured that if Metal Man being weak to his own weapon got attention before, maybe this time we should make it where every single one is weak to their own weapon. That'll definitely get attention next time. Okay, yeah, I am using the right weapon. Got it. Dr. Wily doesn't seem to be putting up much of a challenge. I wonder what's with that. I wonder if what this means is like... By the way, seizure warning. I guess not really, the flashing's kind of slow. But like, I wonder if this means... Please forgive me. Oh no, that isn't Wily, that's just the fake! Seriously, what? So yeah, like all the other Mega Man games, you once again have that happen. By the way, look at this final boss room. A lot of people have literally pointed out that, like, they almost think this room was like a cheat room or something like that. That the developers actually made for themselves, that they forgot to take out, that's like right before the final boss room. Or something like that. And that's just in here where you can just get all the stuff in it. Which, yeah, I think is pretty possible, but yeah.
Another.
So, that last boss didn't give much of a challenge. But since we're fighting the actual final boss, I wonder if this one will give a challenge. I would hope so, it would make sense. Are we gonna fight Gamma? Oh my gosh, I think we're gonna fight Gamma and this robot up here, who's shooting stuff at us. Oh, that's pretty random. Interesting. Okay, so, on this first phase, you just want to do this. And done. Okay, so now we're fighting the final boss. Take a wild guess what his weakness is. I will give you time, spectators, but take a wild guess at what this guy's weakness is. Time's up. Yes! 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 Seriously!
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 Yeah, for some reason! I have no idea why! For some reason, they made the literal worst weapon in the game Dr. Wily's weakness! Where's Dr. Wily? Oh, too late. Oh, excuse me. Dr. Wily. His name isn't Dr. Wily or Willy or anything, it's Wily. Mega Man, you regain consciousness. How'd you lie here when I arrived? How does Mega Man pass out if he's a robot? I wonder who brought you here. And this is where we learn Mystery Man's name. This whistle. It must have been Proto Man! Yup, that is this red robot's name. Proto Man. It isn't Breakman, it's Proto Man. But yeah, we get to the end of the game. And yeah, basically, that is Proto Man's significant connection to Mega Man. He was the very first robot that Dr. Wily ever made, even before he made Mega Man. That is the lore behind that. Which is pretty interesting, which, yeah, is pretty cool, to be honest. But yeah, I'm sure that when people played this game at first in the 90s and stuff, they just had no idea who he was, and so finding out at the end was probably pretty cool, to be honest. But yeah, that's who it is. Proto Man. We can actually call him by name now without having to censor what we said his name was in prior parts that we didn't mean to say. But yeah, that is his name. He's the new robot prototype, and he's the brother of Mega Man. And we see him in the sky. I see Dr. Wily got away and is chilling in a tree. We will let you off this time, Dr. Wily. But you better not do this 4 more times, or Mega Man might just snap. But anyway, we are at the credits, and we are seeing all the numbers of these Robot Masters, yeah! But yeah, overall, what do I think of Mega Man 3? As I have made pretty clear on my Mega Man 2 video, I absolutely, wholeheartedly, despite this game's flaws, despite the fact that it wasn't finished, amongst other things, it absolutely, hands down, is better than Mega Man 2. That is the way I feel about this game. Yeah, it wasn't finished, there was things that could have done better, the difficulty scaling at the end, honestly, was almost too low for once, if I have to be honest with you, where it almost doesn't challenge you enough, but otherwise, pretty fun time, to be honest. And really, the game that's coming after this one, Mega Man 4, only gets better, trust me. So that is very awesome in of itself. We are jiving out to this ending music. This is some very nice music, yeah. It's some nice music. You got to love it, yes, you do. haunted by outcome. Yeah. But yeah, pretty good game beginning to end despite its flaws, to be honest. I really like it, and I find myself revisiting this game many times over, a lot more than I revisit Mega Man 2, because I just think overall this game is just a more polished experience, even despite not technically being finished. For that reason, I just think it's a better game. And from what I've heard, it was these three games, Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, and Mega Man 3, especially with the additions to the series like Rush and Proto Man, who will become mainstays in the series going forward. These three games were really the ones that set the foundation that the series would follow going forward. Where even if I do think some of the Mega Man games that came after this one did even better than 2 or 3 did, and stuff, they just didn't have the same cultural impact that the first 3 games had, is what I have actually heard. But, yeah. With that being said, though, Mosaic Arts is leaving the building. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Be sure to share this video with your friends that have an interest in family-friendly content relating to Mega Man, Nintendo, Minecraft, Sonic the Hedgehog, EXE, and otherwise. And until next time, spectators, see you the next show and the next series.